Hello there and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about using Visual Composer, which is our page builders tool that we use here at Volpine on a lot of our websites. We use a theme called Salient, and Visual Composer is our page builder. Now, page builders are awesome because they give us the ability to create a lot of different layouts without really having to hop into the actual code, which is great, especially because not every member of our team is going to be a coder. So it gives us a lot of opportunity, a lot of flexibility, and just really is a pretty smooth system. So I'm signed into the back end of one of our clients' websites right now. And I'm looking at it, it looks awesome, really well done, really beautiful layout, all that good stuff. And now I want to edit the content. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to hit edit page, and it's going to take me to the back end of their website. And it's going to look something like this. As soon as it loads. There we go. I'm on kind of not a great connection, so it might be a little slow here. Now we can see here, like this is kind of what the content looks like to be able to build this kind of section of content here. So that's really, really cool, right? Pretty simple here. So the way it's broken up is we have the whole body of content. We have the whole thing that's in here, and then we have it kind of just divided up into sections or rows. So we have these rows of content. This right here, this would be considered a row. Here's another row of content. And then the rows are divided up into columns. Now you can kind of see here, this is kind of how we break up these columns. So if I wanted this divided up into evenly split thirds, I would click this button and it would literally do that. And then it would kind of put this content into thirds there. I can put it into fourths here. I can put it into sixths here, fifths, all these different things. If I have some kind of custom layout, I can hit custom and then I can change as needed here. So that's all kind of well and good, and that's kind of how you would break up this content differently if you felt like you needed to. For this particular section here, you can see that it's split up into this layout, which I believe is 1/4 plus 3/4 there. So if you ever need to change that, just hit custom and then kind of do the math there as needed, and it should divide that up into the different sizes that you need it to. I think the smallest that you can break it up into is a 1/6, but I don't know. I've never really run into a situation where I felt like that was particularly advantageous. Now what's cool is now that we have these different little sections kind of broken up here, if you want to add a background to a row, you hit this little pencil here, and this little pencil is the one that's associated with this row. And you can see here there's these little pencils that are associated with these columns within that row. But we've kind of done that here in the past, and we've hit there, and then you can see you can kind of select however you want these things to go. If you want it to be kind of within a container. So what that means is like this section of content here, this section here is within a container, meaning it kind of fits within kind of this portion or this kind of a container, this little section here in the middle. But this content here is full width, meaning it goes the entire span of the page, whatever that is. So you can actually dictate how you want that content to go right here. You can have it be full width content, meaning the content is going to go the entire length of it, or you can have the background be the full width, but the content itself in there is within kind of a container, or you can have all of it, the background and inside the container. So this particular one has full width background. And you can kind of see that as you're looking at this page over here, you can see that the background is the full width, right? So that's kind of what's referring to there. Now there's a variety of different things that you can kind of do here. You can give yourself a little spacing on top or below the content of it. So if you need a little bit more room here and here, that's kind of where you do that. This is called padding. You can dictate what kind of the text color is. If you want it kind of your default dark or default light, that's kind of where you can go. The text alignment, all sorts of different things. If you want to add a certain class or an ID to it, you can. If you want to completely turn off the row, this is where you do it. You just kind of select that and then of course save it. If you need to add a background, this is kind of where that's done. You can see we have kind of this light overlay, this blue color here, and then we have this background image that's there. So you can kind of see we have both of those things added into this particular background there. That's kind of how you'd use that. So pretty good as far as that's concerned. A lot of different options that you have here at your disposal. If you want a gradient, you can do that. If you want a shape divider, you can have these pages kind of divided up into interesting ways. If you look at vulpinemarketing.com, you can see that we have, I believe, triangle or tilt, I can't remember, kind of used throughout the website to kind of break up the content. So it can be a good way to do that. So now that we kind of understand the rows and the backgrounds and the content, here, this is where you can actually come and put things in these little sections. So if you click here, this will bring up all these different things that you can put in here. If you want to add like a single image, you can. If you want to add a video thing, you can. If you want to add a block of text or some HTML or an image gallery or a video player or a variety of different type of content or button, like here's kind of how you can do it. There's a number of things that you can choose from. As you can kind of see, this page is already built with a series of this type of content already selected and in place. This big piece of content here, this is a text block, not too big of a surprise, right? So if I want to edit this content, I can go ahead and just hit this text block, and then boom, here I am, I'm editing the content here. So that is kind of how this is done. We have a few different kind of universal things that we've put in here. You can see here there's this menu, and that was kind of one of the options here that we can add. If you want to add a section, add something in here, you just kind of hit this and it says to prepend this column or kind of add content there. Then you can add kind of whatever you feel is important in here. If you need to add a gravity form or kind of one of our form systems, that's how you do it. Testimonial sliders, all sorts of good things. Now, if you're kind of building a page and you need kind of some pre-built ones, you can actually come into some of these different areas and you can actually have these different elements. If they're called templates. So if you come here to Salient templates, you can actually click here and it'll bring up a lot of these pre-made things. If you just kind of need kind of a little help putting together a design, they'll give you kind of this kind of stuff and it looks really, really good, and you just have to swap out the content. So that can be good. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and refresh this page real quick. You can actually save this page as a template. And so for this particular one, I am going to save this page as essentially a template because I think it would be a good one to use. So what I'm going to do is, let's see here, is this the one? I'm going to go ahead and hit My Templates. And this one says, save current template, save current layout as a template. And I'm gonna save this one as individual practice area page. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. Maybe. Save. I don't know if that worked. Okay. Save template. Well, this is impressive. Well, this has been fun. Let me try this again. My apologies. I think it may have been trying to save it, so it wasn't quite working. Let me go ahead. I'm going to update this page, reload this. When in doubt, just try again. Turn it off and on again, right? Okay, so we have this page. It looks the way we want it to. It's all looking good. My templates. Come in here and save individual practice area page. Save template. What the freak? Ha! Jeez. Okay, this is so annoying. My bad. Individual practice areas and then hit enter. Okay, that is the dumbest thing. Why does that button not work? That is so stupid. Okay, anyways, that's my frustration for the day. Thank you for bearing with me through that. That's incredibly fun. So good. Now I have that saved there. So that's kind of how you could use that. As you can kind of see here, down here at the bottom, we actually have this little section here that we've inserted a page in here as a portion of this template. That is a really, really cool thing that we've covered in a different tutorial. But all in all, well and good, this is kind of how, this is a brief overview of how you might use Visual Composer.